Hey guys, and welcome back to Fringe Friday. I am Carmen, and today we are watching season 2, episode 12 of Fringe. I am so excited to get back into this because I took the tiniest of breaks. But before I do, I want to clarify that if you're watching this and you maybe haven't seen the reactions to season 1 and you've just started with season 2, you might not know that I did watch episode 211 in season 1 because it was an unaired episode from season 1, and to avoid confusion, I packed it on to the end of season 1. So, it is there. If you're confused as to why I went from 210 to 212, it's there. It's just going to require a little bit more scrolling. Okay, just wanted to let you guys know, just in case you didn't. Now, where we left off was we discovered why Walter is having such big lapses in memory, and it is not just the trauma of St. Clair's. It is because 3 pieces of his brain are not there anymore and will never be there again, which is quite sad, but I talked about that at the end of last episode. So if you want to hear me ramble about how sad that is, just watch that. And what else was I going to say? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I know I had something else to say. Oh, yeah. We discovered that Dr. Paris is, in fact, William Bell, that Walter, in some way, shape, or form, did consent to this occurring. And so, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not sad or anything, but it's kind of at least good to know that it didn't really happen against his will. What else? Just a lot of stuff, which I don't know why I always ramble, but I like to recap just in case you guys might have forgotten where we are a little bit, because maybe you haven't watched the show in a while. I know I watch reactions to shows I haven't watched in a while and sometimes get confused. And also just for my own sake of like remembering where we are. But I am done doing that now, so let's get right into it. You guys ready?
What you doing out here all by yourself? What about your parents? Did they know you're out here?
No, sir.
What's your name, son?
It's Teddy.
Teddy. There was an episode a few episodes back where there was a child and he was evil. So I'm kind of side-eyeing you, I'm not gonna lie.
So you were running away?
Yeah.
Well, I took off a few times when I was your age.
You should not walk on the main road if you're running away. Just, not to give people advice, but I'm just saying. Sorry. What? What is his face doing?
If I wasn't looking at him myself, I wouldn't believe we caught one.
I always thought they were nut jobs. People told those stories.
What stories?
Seeing is believing.
He looks like, from that angle, kind of like he's from Star Trek. You know? What is he? Is it like a genetic mutation? Is it
I think we should call the papers, Johnny.
the papers?
He's one of them. I don't care how old he is. People have a right to know.
One of what? Am I missing something? What? Okay. Oh, okay. We just killed a lot of cops. That's...
I'm sorry.
What? So he really was running away? Or was this a setup? Was he involved in it? Or was he just like, my family is messed up, I would like to be excluded from this narrative and leave it?
I saw a boy who looked like this once. He was young, like this child, and he played the banjo. I think it was a haunting melody. Dun 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 dun. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, it's like a movie or something?
It's a movie, Walter. It's called Deliverance. We saw it together.
Oh, okay.
Probably not the same boy.
We found it in their files. There are 30 or 40 reports in there. Strange stories about these deformed people.
Well, some of these are 30 years old.
So it's a local legend kind of thing? That's what they were referring to? It's one of them.
That's where the boy was picked up, walking out of Edina.
I guess that's where we start looking.
Edina? Is that what they're saying? Is that the name of the town? Did I miss that?
Whatever these things are, it seems like they've managed to hide themselves for a while.
They're not going to want to be found?
From the looks of things, they'll do just about anything to keep it that way.
Uh-huh. So be careful.
Keep it in mind.
Right? He's saying, like, be careful, because they're going to kill to protect their secret. Whatever it is.
There may be werewolves in these hills.
Werewolves?
That trooper reported that the boy changed in front of his eyes. So yes, I believe we may be looking for some kind of therianthrope. I saw one once when I was a young man studying in London.
He saw a werewolf in London?
Do you hear that? That buzz?
Yeah. Kind of.
Hard artichokes rarely keep Norwegian elephants, Singapore sleep.
Hey, what are you singing?
Yeah.
But no idea. It just popped into my head. It must be that buzzing. I can't stop it.
You've never seen anything like that before?
No. I've never seen a photograph of one of them.
Oh, but yeah.
Well, Sheriff, this boy was picked up just outside of your town. And the state police have 30 or 40 unconfirmed eyewitness reports.
Oh, yeah. We get our fair share of sightings, but
Why is he leaving? Why does the sheriff look at him? What if he's involved?
of course, anything I can do.
I mean, it would make sense if you have somebody in law enforcement. Best way to hide, right?
Federal agents came into the diner, had a photograph of Teddy. They were asking questions about the killings.
I told you that wasn't the answer.
Yeah, what choice did we have?
Well, what are we gonna do?
I don't know yet.
So what? I'm very suspicious that the sheriff is involved in this.
Though Sheriff Velchik did mention a military base down the road.
You floating another government conspiracy theory?
You know me, I never miss a chance for a good conspiracy theory.
Like father, like son. Uh-oh, it's Foggy.
Ever get the feeling that doing this job just makes you less and less normal?
Absolutely.
I mean, the fact they all work in a Fringe. See?
Olivia!
I was suspicious of this foggy road for a fucking reason. Oh no, wake up, 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 wake up. Okay, Peter, everybody else, wake up, wake up. You guys, hurry, you guys.
Olivia.
Yes, yeah. Wake up. Wake up, girl. Walter, how are you still asleep? Y'all gotta go. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the fucking car. Peter, 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 Peter. Oh no. Oh no. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, okay, he got the gun. Oh no, I don't trust it. I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared. Don't want Peter behind him, beside him, something.
Are we there yet, Peter?
Walter, get down!
Walter, that is the worst time you could have woken up. Okay, he's getting in his car and he's driving away. That's good. You just attempted to... Okay, you killed cops and you attempted to kill federal agents. Stupid.
We should have him run the truck's VIN number, see if we can track down an owner.
Walter, Walter, if you're doing something in the woods, can you please announce yourself?
Peter.
Okay, thank you.
What is it?
It's a butterfly. I wonder if that hum has anything to do with the case.
It's blood.
Yeah. So there's a trail.
Careful, Peter.
You said you shot at the creature, right?
Yeah.
You sure you saw what you think you saw?
Agent Brooke, my son shot a beast. We found a man.
Yeah, you know that they can look normal.
We may have found a creature with metamorphic ability.
And it was definitely the guy in the diner who looked at the sheriff. Hopefully somebody saw him. I don't know. Besides just the audience. Yay me.
There's something to the rumors of military testing at a diner.
Turns out the Army was there in the late 70s conducting a series of classified experiments.
The Pentagon files have been almost entirely redacted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on facts you wouldn't have.
Okay, so it does have something to do with the military base, or at least maybe not the hum, but the military base.
The military experiment they did in Edina was called Project Elephant.
Walter's song.
It is about the hum.
Were you involved in any military testing in Edina?
Not that I recall. I'm sure I remember something as exciting as human metamorphosis.
I'm not sure that you would, Walter.
Walter? It's very sweet of you to remember how much I love butterflies, but you forgot how much I hate moths.
It's both.
It was an astounding creature. Nothing like this. Its wing is deformed.
If that's your idea of a joke...
It's not.
Oh my.
Why would the military be testing a butterfly?
Butterfly has 2 stages of life.
Oh.
It's one of the few creatures with a demonstrated ability to abruptly change its body structure.
So maybe
Making it was a wonderful alpha test subject.
Oh, I just thought it might be like a byproduct, an accidental byproduct of whatever the test was. 1,943. That's a small town.
You think that thing you're trying to run you off the road?
I don't trust you.
And we'd also like to have a look at the town records. See if we can find a last known address or a photo so that we can ID.
Looking a bit sus now, sure.
You finished the analysis on the blood sample from the moth?
Yes, I did. It had some sort of genetic disorder.
This man has the exact same disorder.
Is that what you think lets them transform?
No, the mutation is what makes them deformed. I have no idea what makes them transform.
Okay, genetic mutation.
Project Elephant, I think that's where I've seen this mutation before.
Yeah. You were involved.
Maybe I did work on Project Elephant like Agent Dunham said.
Yeah, I think so.
Does Harkness mean anything to you?
Harkness is a library at the law school. The song is a mnemonic, yes?
Yeah.
You must have done it on purpose, Walter.
Yes.
So, what's at the law school library?
Yes, Walter, what is there?
Come along, Astrid. Let's find out.
I love when him and Astrid, I love seeing them work together. Ooh, what's in there? What's in there? I want to see, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see. Classified army files? Walter, I don't think you were supposed to take those. Edward Cobb, Chief of Research.
I understand now.
What? I don't understand.
I don't know. There's just something strange about these census numbers. Between the years of 1990 and 2000, 17 people died, 47 people were born. That's the only change in the population.
Okay, so does the number not add up?
Some of your tax files are missing. All of the Section F, including Falls.
Yeah, because he's a part of it.
The local tax collector said that Falls had moved out to the edge of town.
He's living in a trailer with his wife and his son.
How old is the boy?
He said he was 7 or 8. I've got an address if you want to meet me.
This is a trap. This is fully a trap.
We'll see you there.
Is Cobb his name? Let me see your name. Let me see your badge name, arm name, whatever. I know he's involved. I can't remember what the fuck his name is. Is the whole town involved?
They don't know anything. Nothing to worry about. It's going to be fine.
You're wrong, Paul. They found out. They have a photograph. They have proof.
I'm going to take care of this. I'll make it all go away.
No, he's gonna try to kill Olivia, but that's not gonna make it go away. You can't kill a cop. I mean, a federal agent.
In the mid-70s, the army became obsessed with finding a new way to camouflage soldiers.
Okay.
Started experimenting with electromagnetic pulses.
So the hum.
The army thought that if they could generate a massive electromagnetic pulse, then they could effectively scramble the optic nerve.
The hum.
It was after I left that they realized that prolonged exposure to the pulse has a horrible side effect.
The disfiguration.
This moth and that deformed man are the victims of, or the children of the victims of that experiment.
Yeah.
So how does that explain their ability to change?
They're not doing it on purpose. It's the hum. They're not choosing to change. It's like if they get far enough away from the hum, maybe, right?
Come, leave the lights on.
Walter.
The hum makes them look normal. And if they're outside of that range, then they start looking abnormal. This is my theory based off what Walter just said. So once he gets inside the town, it's going to look like a beautiful butterfly.
What do you see?
Look at the butterfly.
I see the moth.
Come here, please.
Come within the hum. Yeah.
The man and the moth don't change at all. What changes is our perception of them.
Auditory, yeah. Or optical.
Listen, Walter, I want you and Astrid to head back home. Somebody obviously has a lot invested in keeping this thing a secret. They've killed 3 people already. They tried to kill us. I don't want to have to worry about you.
Oh, well, it's very sweet of you, Satin.
I'll see you back at home.
He's not heading home.
What did Peter say?
He wants us to head into town to try and find the source of the electromagnetic pulse.
That is literally the opposite of what Peter said, okay?
What about a big antenna?
Yes, that would do, I suppose.
Something like that?
That's definitely their house. And he said she was in charge of that. Fuck.
Rose. That was Edward's daughter. He used to carry her around the lap on his shoulders. Oh.
He knows her? Kind of.
I'm Walter Bishop. Your grandfather was a friend of mine. May we come in?
This makes me nervous, though.
I went
They
back
don't make
30
sense.
years, and it looks like the only time the population goes down is when somebody dies.
And what about when people move?
No, that's just it. They don't. Nobody ever leaves this town.
Are you saying that you think that everyone in Edina is one of them?
Yeah, they are. Including the sheriff.
Get down.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. I wish they would have figured it out sooner. Oh god, they have no cover. They have no cover. He is a shitty ass shot. Like, I mean, thank goodness, but damn. Oh, is he gonna turn it off? Walter, that's not the bathroom. Who's driving the car? He's got somebody with him. Another sheriff, another employee. Just keep acting normal.
Oh my.
Just keep acting normal. It's not his fault. He's just a kid. Secret's out, Sheriff.
Drop the gun. I said drop the gun.
Paul.
Go home, Rose.
She wanted it to be over.
The original pulse deformed the whole town. My father couldn't live with himself afterwards. He couldn't leave all those people like that. So he came back to Edina and worked tirelessly on his machine until he perfected it. Then he offered the inhabitants a choice. Live as you are, deformed but free to roam the world, or confine yourself to Edina, where the pulse would allow you to hide in broad daylight.
And your father? He chose to stay among you.
He chose because of you, didn't he, Rose? Last time I saw you, you were a little girl. Perfectly healthy.
Beautiful.
Little girl.
My mother and I, we lived in Edina. We were part of the experiment. Your father experimented on you? No. The army never told him they were expanding the scope of the test.
Sad.
My father tried to create a good life for me here. For all of us, and he succeeded.
Yeah.
We can't make this public, Agent Broyles. We need to let them keep their secret. They will have no choice but to study these people, to examine them, to test them, to humiliate them.
Dr. Bishop, did you find the machine, the one that transforms them?
Please, Agent Broyles. These people have been harmed enough. We simply can't...
Dr. Bishop, I don't think you're understanding me.
Say you didn't find
You
it.
didn't find the machine?
Yeah.
There's nothing to report.
Didn't find anything.
Thank you.
They got me.
Remarkable how Rose was willing to expose her secret to right or wrong. So very brave of her.
You did something brave, too. The way you spoke up for those people. You didn't have to do that, Walter. I'm proud of you.
I'm glad you choose to see me the way you do.
Oh, I'm so fucking scared. Oh god. I'm so scared for when the truth of what Walter did comes out. Okay, so that episode got me at the end, you guys saw, because it just, you know, like Walter, I just can't help but feel for these people. They are, or a majority of them are just victims of the army doing secret experiments that they have no consent or control over, and they are stuck in that town for the entirety of their lives because they don't get to leave unless they want to be seen by the rest of the world and picked apart and made fun of and ogled at and everything. And it's really a condemnation of the world that we live in, that would be their experience if they were to venture beyond the hum. But yeah, like, it's just frustrating because the one guy, right, like, who at the beginning was talking to his wife and their new little baby and fuck, I'm still too emotional from the end. Now everything's gonna get me. But he was talking to his wife and their baby, and he saw the boy for who he was, and like he saw the deformity, and he was like, you know, he's just a child. Like, we're not gonna call the papers. We're not gonna, because, you know, he has a child, and he could see it through that lens, and the other cops were just like, weirdo, you know? And I think it's a good, like, look into what that little boy would experience in our world. And it's so fucked up, you know? And it's upsetting because the Army and Fringe universe did these experiments on an entire town of people with no thought to the repercussions if they were wrong. You know, they used this entire town of innocent people as lab rats in their experiments, and they didn't, at least, I mean, we haven't seen the Army people except for Cobb, right? They didn't ever think to, we didn't see Cobb, but we heard about him. But they didn't stop, to our knowledge, and think about the repercussions of their actions were their experiment to fail, because they didn't care, because it was a worthy sacrifice to them, this whole town of people, right? And I just think that's really fucked up. And I think that obviously this is a fictional world, but like everything, we can use it as a lens to our world and the way that it operates. And unfortunately, those people would be outcasts in our world as well as Fringe world. And unfortunately, I do think that in the grand scheme of things, like the Army, the government, this giant entity as a whole would do that in our world. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm a little bit cynical. I personally think of myself as like an optimist, and I try to see the best in people and the world and everything. But I also come to that optimism from a place of being realistic, you know? Like, I think that you can choose to see the good in people and choose to see the good in the world and recognize how much of that there is, while also seeing the world for what it is and people for who they are. And I think that people individually are amazing, and there's incredible people in the world. But I do think that when you're talking about like governments and large corporations and things that are sort of operating outside the purview of regular people, and who are operating sort of outside the law in a way and outside of regular society, then it gets into like murky territory. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, that was a tangent, but my point is I really loved seeing Walter, like Peter. I was very proud of him for standing up for these people who are just the victims of an experiment gone wrong. And I think that it's an important step for us as the audience to see Walter standing up for these people, because as we know, him and William Bell did experiments on people, and he has done them without people's consent, and children who were too young to give consent inherently don't understand what they're signing up for, like Olivia and stuff. And there's a whole, moral issue there. And, I think that it's just important to see Walter as a character growing and changing and evolving. And I do think he is becoming a better person, a more understanding person. And I am very proud of him. And I think that with each episode that hints at Walter and Peter's relationship and the repercussions that are inevitably going to come when the truth comes out, which each episode we inch closer to that truth being revealed. And we know we do, because the show itself is like poking us and like prodding us and being like, hey, don't you love these characters? Hey, don't you love Walter? Hey, don't you love Peter? don't you love their relationship? Let's keep building it. Let's flesh it out. Let's make it more complicated, but more simple and more nuanced. And also, let's keep reminding you that there is a big fucking secret between Walter and Peter. And once that secret is revealed, nothing is ever going to be the same again. And, you know, they don't have to remind me because I'm very, very, very aware of that and very scared of the inevitable conclusion of that. But yeah, it just feels like with each episode, they're kind of like inching closer and closer and closer and closer to that reveal, and I fear for it. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have a tremendous amount more to say. You guys know I've said it in many, many, many reactions thus far since like the start of season 2, and we're on episode 12 now. End of season 1. Whenever that reveal happened, I think it was end of season 1. So I have reiterated this in many, many reactions. You guys are sick of hearing me talk about it, I am sure. But I feel a great amount of fear for the inevitability of that. And I'm gonna cry. I should invest in tissues soon, right? Like I should. Fuck. I'm almost crying just thinking about it. I need to move on. I also really loved Walter and Astrid in this episode. I really enjoy seeing their relationship develop and change throughout the seasons. I've really loved that. And I feel like this season in particular, we're getting a lot more Astrid and Walter, and I just love it. I love the sort of father-daughter relationship that they've built, and it means a lot to me, so I enjoy seeing it on screen. I do feel a little bit stupid about not understanding what Peter was finding weird with the census the whole time. I was like, okay, is it just because, like, the numbers aren't adding up? Is he like, if 17 people died and 47 people were born, and like, does that not add up to 1,943 or whatever? And then of course at the end when he's like, nobody ever leaves, like, of course that's what's weird. Like, people always leave and come back and leave and come, you know, like, that's just the nature of humanity. Like, where I live now is not where I was born or raised. And yeah, for a lot of people, it's not, like, and I think that, and I was born and raised in a small town. It was not 1,900. It was like 5,000 though. So if nobody is leaving or returning, because that happens too a lot, like, that is weird. People, you know, not to quote Peyton Sawyer from One Tree Hill, but people always leave, you know, like, inevitably somebody does. Like, at least one person. Like, there's always, like, one person in a small town that's like, I have a dream to get out of this small town, you know, whether it's just to, like, a big town right down the road or something. But a lot of times, I don't know, it is very suspicious that nobody left. And I can't believe that, like, I didn't put that together until the end. I feel like I'm slow today. I don't know. Like, I'm like, my mind is working slowly. It's like, you know, it's just like, it's chugging along, but it's taken a minute extra than it should for it to get there. So sorry about that. I also feel like I talked a lot during this episode, so I'm sorry about that. I did have some of this very tasty, sorry, can you see it? Energy drink beforehand. And so that's probably affected it a bit. So I'm sorry if I was very rambly during this episode, you guys. I'm sorry. I did not write that much down during this episode. I was just, you know, kind of watching and taking it in. I think it was a really good episode that was really rooted in emotion because, like I've been saying, the people of this town, they're just victims of this. And some of them were also, like, killers, you know, trying to protect the secret at all costs. But a lot of the people in the town were just the victims of this experiment, and they were just scared because, like, can you imagine, like, I grew up in a small town, right? Like I told you, like, not this small, but like 5,000, and there was no movie theater, in my town. There was no mall. There was no any of that. There was a theater for you to like a stage where you could watch plays and stuff. But there was like, on the outskirts of town, there was like a Walmart, right? There's like little shops in town and stuff like it was a small town. And whenever we wanted to do anything, we would go to the big town that was like 30 minutes away and go to the mall and go to like football games and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just like, I always wanted to travel and like do everything because when you grow up in a small town, you're either very happy there or you want to get out and see more of the world because you've been, surrounded by the same people your whole life. And so I think that I just can't help but feel for these people who can't even travel to like even if they want to, like, they can't go 30 minutes away to the next town over to go to the mall and go to the movies because they can only stay in the perimeter of the hum, which looks like it ends at like the town limit, right? So they don't even get to do that. They just are stuck in this town their whole life. They don't even get to like go and travel and see the world and then come back to their small town because they realize like, hey, it's not so bad. You know what I mean? Like they don't get those life experiences. They don't get to like date anybody that's outside of their basic immediate perimeter. Like what if they're not attracted to anybody there? What if there's not a lot of diversity there? Like what if you're the one or one of the few, gay or lesbian or bi or trans or, what I mean? Like, you're just stuck in a very limited bubble and you don't ever get to explore beyond that. And I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this because, like, at the end of the day, it is just an episode of a TV show. But I like to, I don't know. I just like to think of it as like its own little world, right? Like Fringe is like this snow globe and the world inside the snow globe is Fringe and it all exists in its own way. Like it doesn't, it's just a story. But anyway, yeah. It just made me feel extra bad for them because they're just stuck and they don't ever get to leave. Like I guess they could leave if they wanted to be again ridiculed, made fun of, looked at weird, at least in the rest of the world. But it's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. And that's like, I'm sorry, but like, I can't, I'm stuck on it, I guess, because I feel a very strong sense of injustice for these people who were experimented on against their will, and then their kids who also had no choice in it, I don't know. It just sucks. That's all I can say. It just sucks. Anyway, I think I have rambled at you guys plenty for the day. So if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube. That is linked in the description down below. As well as you can watch the entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode I have seen thus far of Fringe over there as well. And yeah, really scared. I'm really scared to keep, like, every episode I get like this nervous, anxious energy clicking because I'm like, is this the episode that Peter finds out? Like, is this the episode? If I need tissues in the immediate future, someone please tell me because, like, I need to order them. I need to Amazon that shit to me right now. Anyway, until next time. Bye, guys.